What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? Do me a favor on your way in, hit that thumbs up. We got another one here for you. Story time by Sean J. Shout out to that brother for sharing his story on TikTok. I appreciate you for your transparency. Um, this video is an example of just understanding that you, for one, never spare your children from correction, and two, that sometimes you have to be the bad guy in certain situations. You have to walk away even though you don't want to. Sometimes you have to let people learn the hard way. The coddling has to stop, man. It really does. This is a result of that right here. It's not something that is easy, but it's necessary. Mothers are too soft on their children as it is. Men are way more uh, disciplined. They're more stern. Whether or not you want to say that that's true or false is up for the interpretation. But shout out to this brother right here who tells us this particular story. I'm going to play for y'all. Y'all let me know in the comment section, how would you feel in this circumstance? Would you do the same thing? Would you ignore it? Would you feel indifferent?
I was living in Chicago and this woman had a son that was in jail, right? So this woman, I knew of her, but I didn't know her, right? So she telling us all this story about how her son committed this crime, and now to get him out, she gotta, you know what I'm saying, put her house up. Now at this point in time, I never knew nothing about you had to put a house up or you could put a house up to get somebody out of jail. So it was so much evidence that showed that this young man committed this crime. The lady at the time was like, if I put my house up and my son flee, because I feel like he's going to flee. But if I put my house up and he flee, I could lose my house. And get this part, the house was passed down from her mother and her father. Her mother and father paid the house off. All she had to do was pay the taxes on the house. But she was telling them that if
I can already see where this is going. A house that's been in a family for generations. Do you know how expensive it is? Do you know the responsibilities, the history, the love, the pain that was invested in these homes? Now, the home is where the heart is. It's just four walls, bricks, windows. But at the same time, look at it this way. You had your birthdays there, your cousins had birthdays there, possible weddings, fights, arguments. You might have stood by the wall and had your height measured. The older you got, training wheels, first steps. Like, you really got a lot of life in that house. And now you're really about to put all of that at risk. It's paid and covered. All you gotta do is worry about taxes. You about to risk your your home where you lay your head at for someone who decided to go out here in the street and live a certain lifestyle. They made those decisions, but you would give all that up just to keep them out on the street, even though they're a danger to the street, to the community.
if she was to give up her house, she don't have nowhere to go because she really don't have no family like that. So the son was like pressuring his mom to like get him out of jail. So he kept on telling her like, "Mom, listen, I love you. I may never see you again." And she said she was crying to the phone, crying on the phone, like, "But I can't lose my house. This is the only thing I got. I can't lose my house." The son told her, "Mom, why would you think I would do something like that to you? I'm not gonna let you lose your house. We grew up in that house, me and you." He's telling her, "Mom, I cannot let you lose that house. It's so much history there."
You can't let her lose the house, but you want her to give up the house so that you can get out and run back into the street. I understand why they say single parents are, ladies and gentlemen, if you take anything from my videos or my reactions to any of these, take this for what it's worth. Let your partners be involved. If you're bitter and angry, and remove your emotions and your personal feelings. We need tribes and communities. We need people to be on one accord again. We need to be whooping these kids' ass. Whoop their ass. I'm sorry, but you need to whoop them. Stop this timeout. Go to the corner shit. No, that don't work. Stop spoiling them and buying them everything that they want.
Would not ever do you like that. I just want to be free right now because as I'm fighting this case, I know they're gonna slam me, Mom. I'm not gonna beat this case. Now this woman is torn, right? She literally was crying in front of us, like, "Man, I want my son to be free, but I'm scared to lose my house. This is everything I got, y'all." And she was crying. Now me, I was 18 at the time. Now I understood that usually when somebody get out of jail, they usually go back and doing the same exact thing. Because a lot of us already know, especially if you grew up in a bad neighborhood, when you have a bad background, right, it's not a lot of opportunities you can get, right? So you kind of forced to go back to what you was doing because you was making a deal.
I disagree with that part. You can grow up in one of the most devastating locations and still have opportunities. There's opportunities everywhere. God makes that possible. Upbringing might be horrible, but there's always a way. They might try to limit opportunities provided in certain areas, but that just means you have to go the extra mile to want it. We're not about to sit here and make excuses for that. I've seen people leave and escape this type of shit. It's possible. It is possible. I get what he's saying, but nah.
Decent amount of money there. I told the woman in front of everybody, I would not put my house up if I was you. Everybody literally turned their head and looked at me like I said some of the most betrayal, backstabbing stuff they ever seen. So one of the dudes we was all with was like, "Man, boy, you tripping," and everybody got the laugh. They like, "Man, this her son," and then everybody was like, "If it was my child, I would do it." I don't know what he talking about. I said, "Ma'am, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even have no kids. But if my child did a crime and they know for a fact he did it, and I gotta put up my house for it, my child staying in there." I mean, if you could do the crime, you can definitely do the time. All right. If you ain't prepared your mindset for that, that's your fault. Long story short, everybody around her told her to do it but me. And when her son got out, me and him was bumping heads because of what I said. A month or two later, this man moved to a different state. And I ain't never seen that woman after that day, right? But I would never forget one of the like people in the neighborhood was like, yo, she was screaming and crying on the phone, begging that boy to come back home, man. And he told his mama he couldn't do it because he'd rather be free. He told his mama to get on housing, y'all, because he know a lot of women that's on housing. This is her son. The mother should have never risked everything she had for her son that is not trustworthy. I get it. You basically trying to make sure that your child is going to be okay forever. But if your child ain't doing things to put them in better situations, they not going to be okay. Definitely let me know what y'all think in the comments.
You know what's funny about that shit? We've seen this happen over and over and over again. Maybe not with children and trying to protect children, but even with friends and family and stuff like that, where you'll risk everything for them, and then they fuck around and go back to the ex. That end up going back to the abusive relationships. That end up still talking to the same type of people that was disrespecting your home, and all that. You'll do everything above and beyond for them, and they'll still spit in your face and expect you to just understand it. And nah, man, we gotta do better than that shit, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the conversation. I had to share that one with y'all because that happens way more often than it should.